I remember one day Eric came home from work when he was teaching, and he literally said, you know, I feel like if we send them to school, like we are literally just going to be constantly trying to undo everything the schools are teaching them. Hey Flourish fam, this is Carla and Eric. We're going to chat a little bit today as we drive to Costco and get gas about why we decided to homeschool. If you're new here, welcome. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for more from us. I'm a school counselor and former ABA therapist. I've worked with all different populations, from individuals with special needs to gifted and advanced students. I've even worked with populations of individuals on the autism spectrum who were like borderline genius, you guys. It's pretty incredible. And so Eric, share a little bit about yourself, honey, and then we can tell them why we decided to homeschool.
Hey everybody, I am a former educator. I was a mathematics teacher for middle school.
And high school.
And a little high school, yes. Mm-hmm. And now I am studying to be an actuary. Right now I'm an actuarial analyst. Going through that whole process of taking exams and such, which is kind of funny, seeing as our kids are beginning school and whatnot. Just kind of gets us steady alongside them.
So yeah, so Eric, former math teacher turned actuary. So I just wanted to answer the question on this video. Why did we decide to homeschool? So I guess you can kind of say I'm like a quasi second generation homeschooler-ish, not really. I actually went through the K-12 system all the way through, but my mom homeschooled my younger brothers. And so I really saw that experience in a different set of lens. I'm not like, I didn't go through homeschooling myself. I was always in like a magnet school and advanced classes and stuff like that. So I honestly had a pretty good experience with it. Seeing my mom homeschooled my brothers really like planted a seed in my heart to where as I became like a young woman and I was in college, I started to think to myself, like, I think I really would like to homeschool my own children one day. Even though honestly, you guys, I was really opposed to it myself as a youth, because I thought that I thought homeschool kids were squares, you know? I think that there was definitely that stereotype when we saw and heard of kids that were homeschooled or homeschoolers. They kind of, you know, seemed kind of quirky. And so anyway, that's where the seed was planted for me. I saw my mom homeschool my brothers, and I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was really cool that they got to go on trips, and my family really just kind of a la carted our educational experiences. And I thought to myself, you know, one day, I know might be weird, but I think I want to do this myself. Also, a friend recommended reading The Well-Trained Mind, and I remember literally just reading the intro, you guys, and being like, it's done. We're homeschooling, and we're gonna do it classically. So Eric, if you could share just a little bit about how you got to the point of deciding you wanted to homeschool.
She was open to the idea more so of staying home full-time long before I was. And I was very much closed off to the idea because that's how I grew up. My parents went to work, I went to public school, and we would all come back together, you know, at night and do dinner and go to sleep and start anew the next day. But it wasn't until we had our firstborn where I really thought that homeschooling and also my wife staying home would be beneficial for our family. And some of the things just as an educator that I came across that I thought would be better for them to stay home was, one, just the time inefficiency with schooling. It doesn't need to take 8 hours to complete a day of school with all the distractions and the large class sizes, etc., etc. It tends to take that long. And the biggest reason I would say is that we wanted to teach our kids framework that's centered around God and His creation. That was probably the biggest thing, was to interweave God's incredible design into the fabric of learning as well.
Into like the fabric of our our homeschooling day, for sure. Our faith is certainly formative in the decision of why we decided to homeschool. We decided that we would, I think I see one right there. Oh, look, ma'am. Oh, you can back in too. Let's go.
Costco shopping.
Yeah, hey, Costco boy, it gets rough out in these streets, you guys, getting the park out here. We decided that I would stay home right after my maternity leave, actually, with our firstborn, with our Ace. And I remember Eric came home one day after work because he was still a teacher when we made this decision, so we didn't make it off of the reality that he had some big cushy salary. So that is something to keep in mind too. You don't have to be rich to homeschool. It is helpful to have the means, I'm not gonna lie, but you don't have to have a crazy budget to be able to homeschool.
In any case, it is a lifestyle change.
It is, this is true.
Whether you have money or not.
Whether you have money or not, it is a lifestyle decision, in my opinion, more than anything. I remember one day Eric came home from work when he was teaching, and he literally said, you know, I feel like if we send them to school, like, we are literally just going to be constantly trying to undo everything the schools are teaching them. And so, like, we're always going to be on the defensive side as parents. And to me, that kind of like really, it's like the feeling of like being on the inside of like a gigantic bell or something. Like, you just are like vibrating from the inside with something like that, you know, like, whoa. That's pretty jarring. That was kind of like the tipping point where I was then again ready to jump in. Yes, boys, we can get out. That's how we got to the point where we decided we were going to homeschool our children. Check out this video also if you want to hear more about when to start homeschooling your kids. Bye, you guys.
Bye.